Okay, hello everyone. My name is Shauna Finn, a peer tutor with the Writing Center, and here's a brief presentation on how to get started on a research essay. So here's our couple of steps you can follow before you start writing. First, you want to come up with a topic. Next, find a purpose for your research. Third, plan specific areas you will discuss. Fourth, find academic sources that support your research. And then five, identify a rebuttal. So, coming up with a topic, you should pick something that you're interested in. Picking something that you find is boring is just going to make the writing process harder for yourself. So pick something that will be interesting and can keep your attention while you're writing it. Now you're going to want to pick something that you can find background information on. So pick something that you know has a lot of sources that are readily available that you can easily find so that you can use them in your paper when you start writing. If you pick a topic that isn't very well known, it's going to make it really hard to find information. And then you're going to choose something you can personally relate to. So pick something that maybe is related to your major. It could be something that's occurring in the community, or it could just be something that you have an interest in and you're passionate about. It just makes it easier when you start writing. Okay, so finding a purpose for your research. Uh, Ask yourself, who is your audience? Who is the demographic or group of people that you are targeting when you write this paper? So, for example, if you're writing a paper on the education system, people who you might be targeting could be teachers, could be students, or could be parents who have kids in the education system. Um, you can also think about the outcome. What will you achieve when you write this paper? What will the audience take from this paper once they're done reading? Um, do you have some sort of call to action that is prompting the reader to do something after they are done reading your article? Okay, now you're gonna plan specific areas to discuss when you are writing your paper. So, some topics can be very broad and have a lot of information at hand. And in order to cover all of it, you're going to write at least 12 pages. So, to cut back on that, pick at least three specific areas you're going to want to talk about. So that way you don't overwhelm the reader with too much information and you can focus on the most important parts. All right, now we need to find sources. So when you are writing at a college level, a lot of professors want you to use scholarly articles or peer-reviewed articles or sources that are reliable. So on the right are some places you can go to find some of these sources. So places like NC Live, JSTOR, Google Scholar, and it's not listed here, but another place you could go is called ProQuest. Alright, and here's a brief little run through on how to get to these sources. You can go to Shaw's webpage here on the left. You're going to want to go to where the three little lines are at the top left, and then you're going to scroll to where libraries is underlined. You're going to click on that. You're going to end up on the page here on the right. You're going to have to scroll down, and then you're going to find where it says find information, which is underlined. And then you can go there and you can click on find electric journals or articles and databases. Okay, now this is the last step and it's going to be identify a rebuttal. Now, not all professors require you to have a rebuttal, but in case they do, this is how you're going to want to go about it. So sometimes in research, there are going to be people who have opposing views to what you have. Um, so by including what a counter argument might be or an opposing side might be, it shows that your paper isn't one-sided and that your paper isn't completely biased. Now, when you do mention the opposing argument, you're not discrediting yourself in any way. It's just showing that you have understanding. So here's some examples of how to go about writing a rebuttal and an example of one. So basically, you're going to make 180-degree turn away from your claim. So basically, you're just going to forget what you just wrote about in your whole paper for a brief second and talk about the opposing claim. And then once you're done talking about the opposing claim, you're going to go back to your claim. So that way, you're showing that your argument is still valid in some way. So here on the right are some examples, or an example. So let's say you're writing a paper on how drones are dangerous. A counter argument may say, some people note that drones can increase safety with uses like search and rescue or monitoring criminals. Your rebuttal to that could be, this may be true, but drones have already proven to be dangerous, and I believe they will continue to pose a threat to our safety. And that's basically how you're going to structure it when you mention this in your research paper. Okay, and that is the end of the presentation. Again, my name is Shauna Finn with the Writing Center. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us, and the tutors there would be glad to help.